coverage of our NASRA 360 Racing Network. Holy cow, my camera looks blurry as you know what. Maybe I'm going to try to clear my screen if I can, and then try to do a reset. You think that might work? Maybe. So let's try to do that. Let's try to reset it here, and then okay, let's come back here. When we're live, people. As we always say, when we're live, we're live. I don't think that help matters either as well. So.
Well, either way,
anyhow,
Wesley,
it is what it is.
Pre-race.
It is. It's pre-race, and honestly, I'm not a fan of being on the camera anyway. We welcome you to coverage of the NASRA 360 Racing Network, and after 3 weeks of clashes and qualifying and the duels, I'll tell you what, William Tiller, we're ready to go for Season 2 of the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. This should be an exciting race here at Daytona. The NRE Power Systems 250, 250 miles, 100 laps, strap in. It should be a good one here tonight at Daytona.
Absolutely, Wesley. We have 45 confirmed and paid drivers here tonight. One of the largest fields we've had in NASRA history. These drivers are ready, especially coming off those dual races, Wesley. We had a rookie win one of those dual races, so excited for this. And then especially with Adam Newbert defending his crown from last year's championship, he has a lot to prove coming into this first race of the season.
Yeah, it should be an exciting one and a fun one at that. We're getting ready to go to on-track activity here at Daytona as these drivers are just a few minutes away from strapping in. Obviously, Adam Newbert, the champion. He won the championship last year, and meaning last year, William Tiller, maybe 3 weeks ago. So much for celebrating.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally right back to the grind again and preparing for this race tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Wesley. But I know Adam's up for the task. He changed up the paint scheme on that 4 machine. He's ready with Surf Pro on the side of that truck in this series. But he has a lot of competition, Wesley. Remember last year, that Fun 04 was some hungry dogs down the stretch there. So watch out here. Some dogs, some rookies come out there in those dual races, show their stuff. So watch out here in this 45 truck field. Who's going to rise at the top?
Yeah, we're live on NASRA Racing on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Give us a like, a share, and a follow if you are a fan of all of them. And hey, by the way, got to give love to our man, Adam Flieger. He is back from vacation, though he sounds like a robot. We've got him running the boards. He's handling the production. He always does a phenomenal job, and we're looking forward to seeing how things go tonight with the Sim Racer Hub NRE Power Systems 250 here tonight at the virtual. I know it says 200, but it's actually 250. It's 250 miles, 100 laps around, again, Daytona International Speedway. So with that being said, William, everybody's getting gridded. We're ready to go. Man, this should be an exciting one, as we knew, a week ago, what the lineup was. 2 weeks ago, actually, as you see the field gridding. Tyler Daniels, Adam Newton on the front row. They were the front row from qualifying 2 weeks ago. Then you got your dual winners from last Monday night, Adam Newbert and Tyler Dittmer. Jason Morales, Brandon Bullock coming off of a win in the Race at Auto Club last Friday night for NASRA. Ed Osborne, Tim Hammond, row 4, Ryan Twinham, and Kyle Hess. Optimistic he's in the top 10.
And then we got Chris Blanchard, that 9 machine rolling off 11th right there. A newcomer, Jeffrey Johnson Jr. there in that 33 machine rolling off 12th. Ryan Chu in the 51 riding off 13th here tonight. Donnie Lyons in that 79 14th. Hunter Parsons rolling off 15th here tonight. Look at the 16th position of Jacob Klinkart, and that one changed up numbers this season. Wesley, watch out. Ron Hunter in that 30 rolling off 17th. Joey Doucette in that 16 rolling off 18th. Adam Cantwell rolling off 19th. Robbie Richards 20th.
Now roll off 21st, Lumpkin Kynes. We better go quickly with the lineup because they're coming to the green. The rest of the lineup will find Curtis Rogers and Sean Hamilton. Row 13, Hartwick, as well as Jose Luis Rivera. Barnett Trabu, right now your top 30.
Look at the rest of the names right there. James Morris, 31st. Lance Miller, 32nd. Look at Taylor Peacock, 33rd. Brandon Broadfoot, 34th right there. Looking at the rest of this sheet of drivers as we're going to go one more lap around this beautiful Daytona International Super Speedway here. Looking at Brandon Broadfoot right there. Wesley past Brandon Broadfoot. Looking at Derek Kilgore right there. We're also looking at Raul Meza. Nate Matwer in the 35th position. We also look at Jonathan Pugh in the 36th, Troy Thompson in the 37th, Cody Knott 38th, Jeff Sickles 39th, and Joey Steers, one of those qualify winners right there, in 40th.
Yeah, the rest of the lineup finds the driver of Joey Stiers, again, the Coliseum or the Clash winner at Nashville, if you will, to the outside of him, Jonathan Pugh. Noah Willis as well. TJ Moore and Torrey Thompson. That's the lineup. 45 drivers coming to the green flag here. 250 miles, 100 laps. William, break down the stages for us, buddy, as we're getting ready for a start here as we're on the back straightaway looking for the green.
Yes, sir. Stage 1's going to be lap 25. We're going to throw that caution flag as we cross that line. When that 10th truck crosses that line, that caution flag will fly. Stage 2 will be lap 50, and then it'll be 50 laps at the end of this race. The checkered flag will wave on lap 100 here tonight, Wesley.
All right, so now you know how it's going to go. Stage number 1 and the all-important stage points up for grabs, just like you see in the NASCAR world. The same thing will be going on here for NASCAR season number 2 of, again, the Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. We're ready to roll. The NRE Power Systems 250 is ready to come for a start here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Watch the ticker on the top to keep up with the entire lineup. The pace truck is in.
Woof.
After 3 weeks of preliminaries, after a month of Adam Newbert crowned as champion of season 1, season 2 is underway. Green flag in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we are NASRA Virtual Racing at Daytona. Almost dead even there, William, as they'll send it off into turn number 1. Daniels on the bottom, Adam Newton on the followed high side. Now they're going to fan out single file off of turn number 2.
Yeah, pretty clean off of 2 right now. Low side looks like the fast lane down the back stretch. Ooh, a couple trucks already pulling out of line. They don't like that draft coming off of 2. Already new leaders side by side down the backstretch.
Yeah, everybody right now really many trucks, 3, 4, 5, 6 down below the bottom of the double yellow line, while everyone else is still trying to fight and claw for the opening lap. They work their way into turn number 3, working off of turn 4. Adam Newton is going to be the man to pull the trigger and be the lead guy. 2.5 miles in, lap 1, 82 in front in P1 into 1.
Yeah, Adam's leading the way down to corner number 1 right now. We have Adam Newton, the winner of dual race number 1 here at Speed Weeks. Adam Newbert, last year's champion, right behind him. Then you have Tim Hammond in that 69 machine. Had a disappointing season. Last go of it, Wesley. Here tonight, though, trying to get things rolling in the right direction. Here, we're going to ride on board with that Ford machine down the backstretch.
Now, I know that all of the insignia says NRE Power Systems 200. It is not. It is 250. 250 miles is 100 laps around the virtual Daytona International Speedway. And you're on board with the Toccoa, Georgia driver, the champion of last year in the Adam Newbert machine, right there in front of Newton, his Toyota, hugged down to the bottom of the racetrack. They're going to come to the line, put another lap on the board. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, William, we're also virtually under the lights at Daytona, which you haven't any other way.
No other way here. What a way to kick off this season here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. If you haven't checked out SimRacerHub.com, go check them out. Wesley, the most detailed, laid out way you can do all your stats. Check up. That's how I check up on all last week's results. Wesley, I go to SimRacerHub.com, get all last week's results here in this series as we go down to 3 and 4.
All of this going on right now as the leaders work their way again, closing off of turn number 4. There you see the driver patiently just kind of lying in the weeds again, still early in the go. And I'll tell you what, you know, William, I heard some of the conversation with some drivers. A matter of fact, Adam Flieger, if you want to real quickly, let's highlight the 86, and that's the driver of Kyle Hess. He started in the number 10 position And one of the things that me and Kyle Hess discussed before the drop of the green, William Tiller, and you notice right now where he's at on the racetrack, where his position is, he's kind of hanging back, okay? And his intention was, I'm going to hang back. I don't want to be up in the front. I think there's going to be calamity. I want to stay out of trouble. I like that strategy. And then you got some other people, William, that are just saying, well, I'm going to go to the front and I'm going to give it all I got, and whatever happens, happens. Is it good to hang back, or is it good to hang in the front? Is Adam Newbert doing all he can to run down Newton for the lead? We're about a handful of laps in next time by at a turn 4.
I think, Wesley, you want to take your time through the field. I think it's a mix of both. You don't want to lay back for too long. You don't want to chase up too quickly. Chase up too quickly, you're going to get washed out by all those pit stops that we're going to see. I think here in these stage racing here at Daytona, it's a lot of experimenting going on, what's going to work best. You know, here tonight, Wesley, we're going to have 3 sets of tires, 100% fuel capacity, 0 fast repairs. That's one of those golden rules here in Nazareth.
Oh, yeah.
So watch out here as we go down to 3 and 4. This might be one of those situations as now the high side's building up here down to 4.
Got to remember there's no fast repairs, which means that if you tear your car up, or truck for that matter, and you flip it, you crash it, you get severe damage to the engine, no doubt about it. You're probably going to kiss the NRE Power Systems 250 goodbye. It was also announced via NASRA rule this afternoon, right before the drop of the green flag, and I have to say, William, that I'm glad they're enforcing it. If you are not going to run 15 races, at least 15 races, your NASRA charter will be revoked. And again, I know we're not NASCAR, but it is the virtual NASRA charter, and it's kind of a safety net where you're able to start every race by virtue of running for points, running for a championship, by virtue of paying for a membership, just like NASCAR does, except it's on the iRacing simulator under the NASRA banner. But the bottom line is this, William Tiller: if you can't commit to at least 15 of those races, you have a risk of your charter being voided.
What a rule right there, Wesley. But as you're talking about one of the new rules here in NASCAR, we have 2 huge movers already 7 laps into this race. Leading this race, Hunter Parsons in the 15, up 13 spots from the drop of the green flag. Jacob Klinkhardt up 15 spots from the drop of the green flag, now leading the way down the backstretch.
Working their way to the back straightaway right now. Look at all of this crazy chaos and mayhem going on now as they work their way to the back straightaway into that 3rd turn. Hunter Parsons now puts his nose into the gunfight. He'll power to the lead. Now Parsons up 14 spots. Jacob Klinkhardt also up 14 positions. You've got Newton falling back. Hammond, Newbert, and Osborne, your top 5 as they come storming through the tri-oval, flashing under the flag stand. You got Ed Osborne, Brady LaBeouf, all these trucks now that were hanging in the top 15 now climbing the top 10 as we go to 1.
Going down into 1 right now. Great shot here. Oh, man, Wesley, I love that camera angle here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network as we come off of 2. Tim Hammond leading the way.
Yeah, right now, again, Tim Hammond on the bottom of the racetrack trying to stay, if you will, in that top spot. Down to the inside, Tim Hammond. Now Hunter Parsons hung out to dry on the outside lane. He's now got some help from Brian Chu. Meanwhile, Osborne, Hunter, Klinkhardt, they're on the back door to the inside leader, Tim Hammond, as they work off of 4.
Yeah, Tim Hammond still leading the way in that 69 machine. He's going to take this one more lap in the books down into corner number 1 here. Wesley, we're creeping up and just about halfway through stage number 1 here. A lot of movement on the top side lane here. You see the 24 up there, the 15, and the 51.
Yeah, 250 miles, 100 laps. First stage will go to lap number 20. Second stage to lap number 40. And then you got that 60-lap sprint all the way to the finish to lap number 100. And all the while, as it stands right now, I think this is the smart thing to do. We've not seen no Serve Pro caution flags yet, if you will, William Tiller. And I'm obviously not trying to jinx them in any way, but I think it's methodical. There's a strategy by all of these different drivers in the way they're playing it, and they're calm, cool collective right now, and that's what you got to do to be there at the end of this race.
I think you're absolutely right here, Wesley, as now the field's starting to shift around. You know, we're seeing a few drivers pull out of line, not liking the draft so far right there. You see Dan Hagen, that 39 machine. You'll have to bounce through the field to catch up with your favorite drivers. We're seeing a few new numbers out on the racetrack here tonight, Wesley. The 24 machine, which was Brendan Broadfoot last year, is now Brady LaBeouf on the racetrack.
Yeah, the driver out of Louisiana, Brady LaBeouf. Down on the bottom of the racetrack now, trying to make a run back into the top 10. There's Ron Hunter. He's a guy that I know from the Northwest Racing Series that I cover for iRacing on LSR TV. He has really improved in the Hunter Performance Motorsports entry down to the inside. Flanked beside him, the 24, Louisiana's Brady LaBeouf. His Chevrolet right there now battles alongside the other machine of Brady LaBeouf at Osborne. All this action going on as they go to the inside, climbing the bank into Daytona into turn 1 and 2.
Here in the slow whispers of Wiz Khalifa's black and yellow playing inside of Brady LaBeouf's cockpit there. What a fire suit he's rocking here today. We're going to ride on board now with the 79 of Donnie Lyons here down the backstretch and laps into this race here. It looks like Donnie's got that train coming here. Cue up the Johnny Cash because they're rolling around the bend into 3 and 4.
Donnie Lyons up the outside. He slams the safer barrier. He just got bypassed by at least everybody within the top 10. And he falls back even more right now. Closing in on 10 laps completed. Tim Hammond, the leader. Jacob Klinkhart right there in that battle to the outside. Here comes Hunter Parsons. Parsons will throw it up on the outside with Brian Chu. He's going to help give him a little shot on the outside lane as they work into turn number 1 and 2 again.
Coming off of 2 right now here, Wesley. Things getting a little wiggly there. Right on the apex of 1 and 2 here down the backstretch. We only see the bundle right there between positions 5 and 6. After that's a straight line all the way down to about the 16th, 17th position on the racetrack, though, Wesley. What that means is a constant battle for the lead down to 3 and 4.
What a great field of these drivers working their way again off the back straightaway, hugging the bottom of the double yellow line. Some 4 trucks now being brave enough to go to the outside, but keeping it off for the safer barrier. Staying to that middle lane is Sean Hamilton, losing ground on the rest of the pack. Hunter Parsons carries Brian Chu. Still to the inside, it's Tim Hammond, the leader, as they'll file and climb the bank and into 1.
Yeah, look at what Tim Hammond's doing right now, Wesley, here down on the inside, leading the way 13 laps into this race. Remember, he was a playoff driver last season, had to scrape his way in, started the season off very, very hot. 69 machine wants to rebound this season. What a way to do it, Wesley, to kick off this season. What a win. With a win, the 69 machine here in a great position, 13 laps in.
Klinkhart with a shot there on Hammond. And in doing so, Parsons will now capitalize and go to the lead on the outside. Lap truck up on the way on the outside. He'll clear in the bottom and gets out of the way. We got a lot of people that are tuning in. We might have new viewers and listeners as well. We want to say thank you for joining us. If you want to give us a shout out and let us know where you're checking us out from, please do. Like my friend Brandon Mullins, who I met last September, working NASCAR at Darlington Raceway in the Southern 500. He is from Raleigh, North Carolina. He is enjoying the coverage of the NRE Power Systems 250 on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. And right now, you're about to split everybody up, if you will, William, because you've got now lap trucks and slow traffic and a pack racing about to brew here in Daytona.
11 laps to go here in the stage as well. We're going to start to see these drivers really start to get a little sweaty on the wheel. I think we saw that little tranquil period there to kick off the event. Be a little nerves as well, a little butterflies. We saw a few drivers pull way out of the draft early on in this race. Now things have settled in. We see that low side really built up, top side not right now. See a lap truck coming into the mix right now. This makes me a little nervous right there. We got by it okay there as Tim Hammond in 69 takes us off the corner.
Yeah, back off into the corner again. Tim Hammond, the man out in front of the number 69 machine. What a strong run to the bottom of the racetrack. Brian Chu to the inside. Parsons up on the outside. He's got Brady LaBeouf. Klinkhart. Hamilton's back up in the battle. Osborne, look at him throw a blanket over them for the lead. Right now, they do-si-do 2 by 2 as they work their way again off the bank and out of 4.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than that. They're a high bank shot off of 3 and 4. The beautiful paint schemes of these trucks. First race of the season. Doesn't get any better than that as the 15 takes us down to 1.
It is the NRE Power Systems 250. We're in stage 1, 250 miles, 100 laps, a century grind around Daytona for Season 2's official points race of the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Along with producer, director, editor Adam Flieger and William Tiller, I'm Wesley Outland. And right now, the best of NASRA on Monday night are sending it into the high banks of Daytona between Hammond and Parsons, fighting for the lead as they work off of turn 4.
Yeah, things still side by side off of 4 as new players come into the mix right now. Things right now only Wesley 4 trucks on the top side. Do you expect to see more trucks come into line as now that's Brandon Bullock now decides to join the party in that 17?
Just got a message from one of our loyal followers of the NASRA 360 Racing Network. And when we go to the end of the stage, I'm going to show you this picture, William Tiller, multitasking at its finest, watching Braves baseball, the NASRA truck race at Daytona, and hockey. Hockey between the, of course, Florida Panthers, your Florida Panthers, and the Carolina Hurricanes, by the way. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll show you the picture here in a minute. Right now, they work their way out the corner at a turn number 4, closing to the end of stage number 1. So far, no harm, no foul. That's the way it should be. Hammond leads them off the corner. Chu will follow. Hamilton, Parsons, LaBeouf, top 5 as they work their way, close it in on the final couple of laps in stage 1.
Yeah, what a huge stage victory this would be for the 69 camp. As I said, coming off a little disappointment from last season, had high hopes in that playoff run. That door got slammed very early for that 69 team. A win here tonight was something they were chasing all season. 26 weeks they couldn't get a win. If they get one here tonight, perfect way to do it right now. It has a long way to go, Wesley, but very strong on the inside so far.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Right now, Tim Hammond still continuing to hug the bottom of that double yellow line to the inside of the Speedway. You've got more lap traffic up on the outside lane. Hunter Parsons and company are going to have to weasel their way to the middle groove to get through the lap truck on the top of the safer barrier. They'll do just that. They're coming to the line. We're 2 to go in stage number 1 at Daytona.
2 to go right now. Tim Hammond still leading the way in that 69 machine. Brian Chu's up there in second. Sean Hamilton third. Hunter Parsons fourth. No, check that. Ed Osborne now fourth. Hunter Parsons fifth. Brady LaBeouf sixth. Ron Hunter seventh. Jacob Klinkart eighth. Joey Doucette ninth. And Adam Cantwell rounds out our top 10.
That's the way it stands right now as they work their way to the back straightaway into that third turn inside the Speedway. Tim Hammond out in front. He is the man leading the way. Brian Chu right there in second. Hamilton now up to third. Parsons falling back. They're going to come to the line. 1 to go in stage 1 here in Daytona.
As Tim Hammond takes us down to corner number 1 right now, still our race leader here. Wesley has a lot. That's Brian Chu in that 51 right behind him. See if he can close it out right now here. Wesley going to run 25 laps here in stage 1.
Trying to take it down to the end of the finish. Right now, they work to the back straightaway for the final time. Hammond on the inside of the racetrack. Oh, here comes Chu. Chu, will he make a move on the outside? Final time around. LaBeouf, Bullock, the 10 in that battle of Cantwell. This is in the top 12. Meanwhile, we're watching Raw Meza also battle. We go back to the front now, and here they come, storming off the trioval into turn number 4. Down to the line, and the caution will wave once the top 10 cross the scoring loop. It is Tim Hammond winning stage number 1 here at Daytona.
We've got a few more laps here in stage number 1 here. Wesley going to run it down to lap 25 here in stage 1 as Tim Hammond still leading the way around 2.
I thought it was 20. Okay, all right. I guess they changed it then. We're in the final 4 laps of stage number 1 then. My apologies. Tim Hammond now trying to look for lap number 25. I wish somebody would give us a memo if the NASRA stage numbers change. Tim Hammond right now leading the way. It's Chu, it's Osborne, it is Parsons working off the corner. They come down to the line, and he's got to hold on just a little bit longer to be the stage 1 winner, more than even I thought, as Parsons trying to power back there on the outside as they work out of 4 there, William.
Yeah, coming off 4 right now. Tim Hammond now has a battle on his hands. That top side's building up with Hunter Parsons in that 15. There's Hamilton, though, and they 89 trying to push it along. They break the draft from the top side. That's going to get that low side the advantage off the corner.
Yeah, right now they close their way again off the turn there, watching them all work their way. That's Jose Luis Rivera, the 20 machine. There's Peacock in the 81. He's got a little help there with the 10 of Adam Cantwell. All of this going on inside the top 10 as they work their way to the back straightaway into that turn. Clinkhart now battling LaBeouf, battling Morris, battling Bullock. All of these drivers finding their way as they come to the line here now. What will be 3 laps to go now when they come to the line in stage number 1.
Very airtight to kick off this event, kick off this season right now. There's been no cautions, no variations, been airtight up here. Constant battle for the lead, no relay.
I think we've lost William Tiller. Maybe he'll come back and respond here in a moment before we get to the end of the stage, as right now you're on board with a driver, the number 51 from Fort Myers, Florida, Brian Chu. And Brian Chu's entry right now working his way around the racetrack as we are closing in on the end of stage number 1 here to lap number 25. Sean Hamilton, his Chevrolet on the outside lane. All of this great racing going on in the pack as Hunter Parsons gets a little loose. He sticks it down the middle. Hamilton now will power up on the outside. To the inside is Ron Hunter. 3 wide, if you will, for the lead. The front 2 trucks now do-si-do, side by side, except Hammond is the fast machine. Stays to the bottom of the racetrack. He's got the lead. Brian Chu in second. Now, look at now, the number 30, Ron Hunter. He's up to 3rd. What a move. Ron Hunter inside, outside. Parsons back up in the mix with Osborne behind him. He's got in tow the driver of the 30 of Ron Hunter. Couple of Hunters there between and Andy. They work their way off the corner out of turn number 4. They're going to come to the line. 1 lap to go here in stage number 1 here at Daytona. The NRE Power Systems 150. It's about to be 75 miles in when they complete lap number 25. Tim Hammond leading the way. That's the same distance, remember, that they went in the duels last Monday night. Final time around into turn number 2, down the back straightaway. For the final time, they work their way into the corner, down the back straightaway. Look at them sliding 3 wide, 4 wide, down into the corner, into the turn 3, to the inside. Tim Hammond working his way, holding off Brian Chu. Stage points on the line, just like it would be for the playoffs. You add these in the season 1 opener to determine the run to the playoffs, as we got Bull Peacock crashing across the line. Why would you do that? And they're crashing hot and heavy. Atwell's involved, Doucette's involved, Bullock's involved, Brian Chu. What does stage points mean? There's the outcome right there at the end of stage 1. William Tiller, welcome back.
Yes, sir. Had a bit of technical difficulties there. Boy, what a way to return to the booth up here, Wesley. I watched it up here with you. What a way to end stage number 1. We're going to check out this replay here, this caution flag brought to you by Serve Pro. I was going to check it out right here, Wesley. Wow, what an end.
No doubt. Definitely a crazy way to end stage number 1 here at the Virtual World Center of Racing. And we are going to show you a replay of what just happened as they're coming to the line. Top 10 cross the scoring loop at the end of stage 1. And then there is chaos and mayhem. Look at this. Ron Hunter up on the outside. In the middle lane, Brian Chu. Tim Hammond goes below the line. I saw Peacock already in the grass. Ron Hunter gets tagged. He tags Chu. Somehow or another, Tim Hammond gets away from it. Joey Doucette gets put up in the fence.
Wow.
And there are so many other drivers like Adam Otwell, Brandon Bullock, and others that literally they weren't the cause of the caution. They were just the secondary accident of what came from the original go of it. Wow.
Yeah, and unfortunately, folks, if you're joining the broadcast here with us late, there's no fast repairs here. What that means is if you see your favorite driver involved in this wreck, that damage that's on that truck some of it could be detrimental to their chances of getting that truck rolling again. You see Hunter
Yeah.
Parsons there in the 15. He looks pretty banged up right there. Gonna ride on board here with the 26 of Cody Knott. Gonna ride right behind the 79 of Johnny
Remember
Lyons.
what we talked about, William, and again, look at this on board with Ed Osborne. Amanda had a really strong run. There's Richards wrecking. Parsons has crashed. Dane Hagen. Look at this again. Let's go on board now with Ed Osborne. Somehow he thought he'd weasel his way out of it, and then he got put up in the fence, and then he gets turned around. Nowhere to go. I think Brady LaBeouf might have got away from it okay, but here's the deal.
Bullock from the 17.
Yeah, Brandon Bullock, winner on the NASCAR race at Auto Club in the playoff elimination race on Friday night. If you want to bring me and William back in the booth, here's the deal. And the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this, William. Either, well, I think we might have got disconnected from our video stream. Yeah, we don't have our partner, William Tiller, so don't worry about that. Anyhow, back to on-track activity, and I'll say this. I will say this. We mentioned this. You do not have. Okay, you don't have a fast repair. So if you tear your truck up, William Tiller, you might have just been eliminated from this race because of what just happened. Bottom line. You could possibly kiss your night goodbye.
Absolutely. And let's look at that list here. We're looking at some of those drivers that may or may not been involved in that.
Streamlabs.
We're looking at the likes of Ryan Twinneman down there, Tyler Daniels, Donnie Lyons, Derek Kilgore, Jeff Sickles, Noah Willis, Nathan Maurer, Ron Hunter. So a lot of big names already out of this race.
Yeah, William, reset your Streamlabs, your screen small, and make sure you mute your mic, brother. We had a little double echo there as all this is going on. And do you pit? Do you not pit? That's the question. And obviously we saw everybody did come down to the pit lane. And, well, we'll try this again. Lights are off on the pace truck. They didn't waste no time at all. I cannot believe, William, that we tore trucks up that quickly at the end of stage number 1. I wasn't expecting that.
I kind of did. I had a feeling it was coming there, Wesley. You know, down the stretch there, the way the trucks were kind of wiggling around, I felt like some calamity was coming.
Yeah, all of this going on again as we'll try one more time to reset, regroup, and go again after that caution involving numerous great contenders, drivers that definitely did not want to see that caution because obviously now they are badly damaged, and it's going to be rather interesting to see how they'll survive from this. All the while, they work their way into turn number 3 and 4 to the triangle. The pace truck is in. We're underway in stage number 2. We'll try this again as they were leaders work their way off into turn number 1 and 2. Again, Tim Hammond, winner of stage number 1. He's mired back to the 6th as Jacob Klinkhart now, William Tiller, leads them up the bank in stage 2 underway.
Yeah, Jacob Klinkhart switching numbers this season, rocking the number 1 here. That's the position he's in off the corner. Has Taylor Peacock right behind him. Wesley, he started 31 positions down the grid. One of our biggest movers so far. Watch out for the 923, though. Joey Steers, he's up 37 spots into 4th.
Right now, working their way again at the bank and into turn number 3. Working off 4. Still a great drive, a great run now. But Klinkhart, Peacock, remember what happened to Peacock? And somehow, some way, he's still able, if you will, to work his way back into the top spotting. Currently, right now, sitting in the number 1 position. Remember what happened to Peacock, driving into the grass again, William Tiller, at the end of stage number 1. Somehow, driving into the turf might have been better for anything. He's in the number 2 spot as they work their way off of 2.
Yeah, and he looks like he has a huge run. Oh my goodness. Who's that on the top side lane? Who's in the mix? That's Tim Hammond in the 69. Aggressive move off of corner number 2. He's trying to stack something up there on the top side lane. He's trying to say, why can't we be friends? So Raul Gomez in the 37 as now they're off of 4.
Right now, just one Serve Pro caution flag, and that was, of course, the incident that took place at the end of stage number 1. By the way, I would call the big one, if you will, at the end of the stage 1 break, because you knew they were coming to the caution flag anyway. But nonetheless, though, they continue to stay in this battle, working their way in the corner out of turn number 2. It is Clinkhart, the leader, the driver of the number 1 machine on the back straightaway, holding off Hammond, holding off the driver of Peacock and Moore as they work their way in the back stretch.
As you see some drivers pull out of the draft right there, it's got some drivers nervous, some drivers going into that danger zone lane right there. You see a driver getting squeezed in the middle. Looks like Chris Blanchard. It's going to be in that danger zone lane, 3 wide into 3 and 4, as right now Clinkhart still takes us off of 4 as our race leader.
Yeah, right now just kind of staying right there where he's at right now, just minding the P's and Q's and staying out of trouble. And right now having a phenomenal drive going for him right now as they work the turn number 1. Again, the leader, Clinkhart, back up the racetrack. Another lap on the board as all of this goes on in turn number 2 to the back straightaway.
And Wesley are starting to see, oh my goodness, here they come. Power Rangers assemble. You see the metamorphosis of that top side lane now. Wesley, all of a sudden, the 69 machine of Tim Hammond, he's got friends. He's got the 923 pushing him along right there. That's Joey Steers. He's coming in hot here in these speed weeks. He won the Clash race there. Wesley, a lot of confidence behind the wheel at 923.
Remember that this is 100 laps, 250 miles, and 75 miles into this race already, or over 75 miles, yet lap 25. We will be halfway at lap number 50, and that will be the end of stage number 2 as well, unless I didn't get the memo, William, and the stage numbers changed again. Are we going to lap 50 for stage 2?
Lap number 50, yes, sir.
Okay, all right, okay. See, I was thinking it was 20, 30 lap stage 2 and then 50 laps for the finish, but I guess it all changed and I didn't know. But anyhow, we progress and move on. Clinkhart the leader, Peacock and Hammond up on the outside. All this going on with Raul Meza. What a drive for Raul Meza. Joey Stiers, remember what he did in the Clash at Nashville in the race about 2-3 weeks ago, winning that all-star race. And all the while, all of this continuing to go on as we're 16 to halfway next time around. And well, they're minding their P's and Q's, kind of like what happened in stage 1 before all hell broke loose coming to the checkered flag.
Yeah, everything's tranquil on the racetrack right now. Actually, the only caution flag we really had was at the end of the stage, and all those trucks crashed out. We're going to ride on board with the 9 machine and Chris Blanchard right now. And Wesley, I wanted to ask this question to you as we ride down the backstretch. Daytona is a track that everybody knows, everybody's familiar with. As we go along this long season, these 26 weeks, do you feel like maybe this track, this race, here tonight is the best chance for some of these drivers to get a win?
I mean, Daytona is a wild card. It's just like Talladega. And if you want to be honest, the New Atlanta, I think, provides the same thing as well, whether it's in real life or on the iRacing circuit for NASRA. It's just one of those deals where you got to be, it's a crapshoot. You got to roll the dice. You got to find out whatever your luck's going to be, whatever the fate's going to be. But to be there at the end, you got to survive getting through this race. What they just did at the end of stage number 1 was absolutely not smart. I don't want to say the word, the stupid word, because I don't want to call anybody that, but you just don't make dive bombs like that and making daring moves to try to fight for 10 stage points. You make moves like that when you're fighting for the checkered flag. And again, props to all these guys. They were right there dead on it. The racing was exciting. They got in the line. They tucked in line, and that's what you need to do. But to try to fight for 10 points at the end of the stage, and you ended up with a parking lot in turn number 1, that log jam session did not need to take place, but it is what it is, and a lot of good contenders are hurt because of that. So, yeah, is this a wild card at Daytona? Make no bones about it. Do you want to win Daytona? Absolutely. One thing is, you win Daytona, you're in the playoffs. Okay, so that's the first thing. That's one of the positives of the deal. But the bottom line is you got to survive this wild stuff here right now, and I don't think we're even done with that yet.
No, I think the wildness is just starting to kick up now as Tim Hammond's now back up to the lead. He's on the low side, now blocking Jacob Klinkard across that start-finish line. And what I was alluding to there, Wesley, is the 69 went from the high side to the low side in the apex of 3 and 4. He just full sent that 69 to the low side.
Yeah, what a full send he made indeed. And Tim Hammond, definitely, can you say, man on a mission, the guy we know from being a truck driver full-time, and he's one of those guys that just an all-around great guy. He's done some producing for NASRA broadcasts before on the Thursday night series with what used to be the over-the-top designs, Xfinity series. Hopefully they'll bring that back. I don't know if they will or not, but hands down, when it's all said and done, you got to think to yourself, Hammond showing a really strong truck here. I like Joey Stiers. I like seeing the strategy that some of these drivers would do. We kind of mentioned what Kyle Hess was doing earlier in the race, William Tiller, and I think he's kind of playing possum right now, but look at what happened to him. He's 6 laps down because of it. He was up in the back when they come to the end of the stage one, and then they started wrecking it. He got collected in it. A lot of good drivers got collected in it. So this big wreck at the end of stage one surely changed the complexion of this race.
Yeah, right now as we're down the backstretch, 38 laps into this race here tonight. This is the NRE Power Systems kickoff event here. The first race of the season will come off Adam Newbert's championship victory, not but about 3-4 weeks ago there. Wesley is right now. We're down the backstretch, coming up on a lap truck. Things are going to get a little hairy right now as the 923 is going to try to squeeze to the inside. Watch out here, Wesley, as we creep down to 1.
Well, all of this going on again as they work their way off of the corner out of turn number 1 and 2 to the back straightaway on the super stretch now. There's Brandon Bullock. Big props to Brandon Bullock. Obviously, not of our doing. Something happened where we were not able to broadcast the race last Friday night, but go figure. Bullock was the winner, and big props to the 17.
And I feel like the 17 could be a sleeper this season here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. You know, last season was a playoff driver, like in the likes of the 69 machine, had good runs down the stretch, good finishes, just could never find that consistency that could lead to a championship or a deep run in the playoffs. I think here this season, the 17 has got everything locked in with a good race here tonight. That could kick off a string of good finishes, and I think that's what the 17 needs.
Well, there's the Macon, Missouri driver, and again, he picked up a win in one of the elimination races in the playoffs for Season 6 of the NASRA, of course, Triple M Pulling Truck Series. That's the Friday night deal. Oh, yeah. And I will say this, you want to tune in. We got a lot of viewers watching on YouTube and Facebook. Hit that like and share, subscribe button. And if you want to make sure to join us on Friday night, William Tiller, we got a pretty good, exciting race coming up Friday night. I understand that our broadcast is probably going to be booming inside of a bunch of convention centers on speakers, and definitely hitting the masses of new people for sure of a convention center event this upcoming Friday night.
Exactly. I'm excited for that new reach, the new audience that we're going to see. Let's talk about some new drivers here in this field here tonight. Wesley, we just talked about the 923 of Joey Stiers up at the top of the grid right there in second. We're also taking a look at Chris Kynes here in the 29. Good to see the 29. Used to seeing Keith Bradley be on the wheel of 29. This season's going to be Chris Kynes.
Yeah, going to be a big race. The ICCC playoff race. Next round of the kickoff for the next round of the playoffs of the eliminations are going to be this Friday night. And ICCC, little shameless plug before Friday night begins, is a sci-fi fan and collecting convention for everyone that collects vintage and modern toys and collectibles. Loves meeting stars with your generation's greatest films and TV franchises, and enjoy gathering together with a global community to celebrate the stories we all love and cherish. And again, that's the ICCC at the Farm Bureau Expo Center this Friday night. It will be booming our voices over the NASRA 360 Racing Network broadcast in Nashville, Tennessee. So all the while, look at Broadfoot.
Wesley.
Man, I love it, man. Look at this awesome
Iron Man.
I love it, man. I'm Iron Man. Cue up some Cue up some Ozzy while you're at it. And by the way, we're under 10 laps to go in stage number 2 here at halfway in Daytona's 100-lapper.
And again, folks, that's a new number for a driver this season, the 22 of Brendan Broadfoot this season.
And Brandon Broadfoot was one of those drivers that was an analyst with us last Monday night, if you remember, in the duels. We had fun with, obviously, Tyler Dittmer. And by the way, speaking of Tyler, where is he at? Adam Flieger on track right now. The number 34, Tyler Dittmer. I think right now he's in the top 20.
Oh, man, that was too close, Wesley.
Boy,
too close.
Dittmer 19th, and what a save there. He's got Jason Morales in front of him. Lizard Works Toyota. I love the glass machine. 34 out of Gore, Virginia. Your former play-by-play voice along with William Tiller for the Sim Racer Hub Truck Series of Nazareth. And William, he said, Wesley, I want you to be my guy. Come in here. I want to race. And, okay, I don't know a damn lick of beans about iRacing a truck, so I will go back to what I do best, being in the broadcast booth. And he's doing a phenomenal job in the truck here at Daytona right now, William.
Yeah, has had a pretty good speed weeks. Didn't race in that clash race at Nashville, if I'm not remembering correctly there. But we're 3 wide down the backstretch right now. We'll go back to Tyler Dittmer's running that 34. We're 3 wide into 3 and 4 there. If we could jump back up to the lead, what craziness we have.
And by the way, I'm understanding that the Pugh Racing entry, Jonathan Pugh and his team, internet dropped, and that put a big situation on that driver there. So Jonathan Pugh with a problem with the internet, and he's out of the race, several laps down, 14 laps down according to time and scoring, if everything is correct. We're closing in on halfway as well in the end of stage number 2. And Joey Stiers now the leader. Stiers, the winner of the Clash at Nashville 2 weeks ago. He's the driver that everybody said you better keep an eye on. He's going to be somebody to beat. And right now he is holding off Kerry Tribune, up 28 spots, up 40 spots. Joey Stiers. Man, what a job these guys are doing working off turn 4.
Yeah, what a beautiful transition from the inside lane to the top side lane from the 69 machine of Tim Hammond right there. Now he has Sheik Plunkett pushing him around on that top side lane. Has Taylor Peacock right at the tail end of that 3 truck top side lane pushing it along. Trying to get past the 923 there, Wesley. I was just about to say that inside lane looks like the fast track, but now the 69 is trying to inch his nose in front as well.
Man, I was going to say that I'm absolutely ecstatic and thrilled to see some of these guys that no doubt are making a climb through the field, hands down. I mean, you look at Joey Stiers. He started this race in 40th. You got Kerry Tribune. He started 28th, or up 28 spots, man. All these guys climbing spots. Raul Meza has really impressed me also. Raul Meza in that Serve Pro entry, right there in the fight. He's on the bottom of the racetrack in the 37 Serve Pro machine. He is up 28 spots. Taylor Peacock as well. Some big climbers. Jose Luis Rivera, the big wreck that happened at the end of stage 1. No doubt about it, William. It shook up the scoring pylon, and you got new, fresh faces up in the front.
And huge runs off of 2 right there. See the 81 had to check up behind. Clink out there on the top side lane. Wise moved to stay together. The 69, though, is going to go to the low side now. Going to try to link up with the 923. Does just that, though. Huge gap. The 923 a little hesitant to get to the back bumper. Does so now. It's going to push the 69 back up to the top of the penthouse position off of forward Tim Hammond, our race leader.
It's going to be 3 laps to go when they come to the start-finish line now. Storming out of turn 4, a little wiggle and a jiggle and a giggle and a bobble by Clinkhart. Peacock gave him a shot in the shorts there on the backside out of the corner. He's getting him loose there. Joey Stiers now falls back. Rivera, Tribune, all these guys trying to get in formation again as they're do-si-doing 2x2 through the corner out of turn 2.
Yeah, very wiggly so far. We're looking at around 25 laps almost on these tires so far. So a little bit of wear right now into 3 and 4. Tim Hammond, he's feeling the pressure. He's under pressure from the 923 into 3 and 4.
Hammond down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's got Stiers right there. Tribune on the bottom. Then you got Clinkhart, Bullock, as well as the other machine of Rivera. All these drivers making their moves inside, outside, storming out of turn 4, back down to the line. And now Cleakhart will make the outside lane work. Lap truck up in the way of Ron Hunter and a bunch of other trucks in the path of the leader. So negotiate through that into one.
As what it looks like, trying to get into Disney World at 5 o'clock here in Orlando at Florida right now. It's traffic jam down the backstretch right now. These lap trucks and lead lap trucks trying to get around each other right now. Everything's clean so far. As now we're down to 3 and 4.
Right now, down to the bottom of the racetrack, and there's the lead pack again. Cleakhart and company found a way to negotiate through those lap truck machines what might have been for some of those big names in that race earlier in stage one. Now it's time for these guys to get assembled and find the way to be in the top 10. Stage points on the line, ready to go to the finish of the race. Cross flags in the air, next time by, and the finish of stage two. Cleakhart, final time on the outside into one.
Cleakhart on the top side, getting a big push from the 81 to Taylor Peacock. 69 Tim Hammond on the low side. You see Steers right there in the 923. He wants to get around the 69, though. He's going to hold pace now down the backstretch.
Joey Steyer's little shot there to Hammond. Hammond trying to not only take stage one, but also sweep in stage number two. He is on the bottom of the racetrack. Joey Steyers gives him another shot. Kerry Tribute trying to get up in that order, along with Rameza. Cleakhart on the outside. Here comes Peacock. Here comes Rivera. Oh, they work their way coming out of turn number 4. Slicing, dicing.
No, not again.
No, they save it this time perfectly. And Hammond will win stage number 1. He'll win stage number 2. And another Serve Pro caution flag, which, by the way, that is out because we're at the end of stage number 2.
Wow.
And William, they minded their P's and Q's this time, no doubt.
Nothing crazy there, Wesley. Almost there for a second, maybe a little sweaty up here in the booth, but it's all clean. The Serve Pro professionals have nothing to clean up here at that caution flag.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Big thanks again to Serve Pro and all the great people that are involved with it. Serve Pro Fire and Water Cleanup and Restoration. Again, we thank them all so much again for being the caution flag sponsor for this for all events this year. As a matter of fact, what I was told on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. So again, big appreciation to them. Serve Pro caution, and I'm trying to make sure I got my script here. Restoring homes affected by fire, water, mold, or hurricanes like it never even happened. Serve Pro, again, the caution sponsor. Hey, let's take a break. Let's rest our voice, and stage 3 coming back when we return. Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Strap in. 50 laps down, 50 to go, or under 50, and to the finish to the checkered flag of the NRE Power Systems. 250 when we return from Daytona. Well, you better strap in, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of drivers still making pit stops in the back of the pack. And we settle in for what should be a wild shootout coming up. Along with William Tiller, I'm Wesley Outlet. Adam Flieger doing a great job of the broadcast. 2 Surf Pro caution flags, by the way, because of the end of stage number 1 and stage 2. And the man that has dominated the 2 stages so far has been... Well, he's a guy that we know from iRacing, from the producer chair, from Thursday night, and he's doing good tonight. The truck driver, the trucker, Tim Hammond. You have swept stage 1 and 2, and I believe our William Tiller is with him right now.
Yes, sir. I know Tim very well. My former boss, my Jedi master to broadcasting here.
Jedi master? Jedi? Okay.
We talked about, off air, your disappointment from last season, your playoff runs there didn't really go the way you wanted to. You missed a few races down the stretch. This season, though, you're kicking it off with stage 1 and 2 victories. You got 50 laps to go. How do you close the door on this race win?
Man, well, I'm going to be honest with you. This was not how it's supposed to go. I was going to drop back there at the beginning, but so many people dropped. I said, you know what? I'm just going to stick to it, and I'm going to try to run the front. And so far, it's been working for me.
But you know what, though, William, and you can go back to his question. That's what a lot of conversations I heard from drivers in pre-race were saying they were going to do. They were talking about falling back. Tim, why do you think that is?
Everybody just wants to make it to the end. A place like Daytona, it's hard to make it to the end, and at the end of stage 1 showed that. Quite a few trucks got involved in that first wreck, but now it's 50 laps to go. I'm going to be taking it easy now because I don't have to get up there and race for stage points or anything. Because last season I didn't get any stage points or any stage wins, so starting off pretty good this year.
All right, I guess William is done. Tim, we'll let you get back to it at 2 again, buddy. I know the green flag is out, so good luck to you, man, the rest of the way.
Yes, sir, there, Wesley, as Tim Hammond now leads the way down the backstretch there into 3 and 4.
We were going to say multitasking because he's literally talking to us on the broadcast and he's literally leading the way, but here comes Kerry Tribute down to the bottom. We're, by the way, underway in what is our final stage. This race coming down to under 45 to go as they come to the line. And I'll be honest with you, William Tiller, this stage now with about 20 to go, this is when you start to pull the trigger and try to get up to the front.
And I think right now here, Wesley is going to ride on board the 37 machine of Raul Meza here off the corner. You want to be hungry, but you don't want to be too aggressive because right now you've made it halfway. You don't want to throw everything away just yet. You know there's going to be at least one more round of pit stops on the stretch.
Well, there you see again on board with Raul Meza. He's got Hammond up in front of him down to the bottom of the racetrack. Kerry Tribute to the inside. Jacob Klinkhart right behind him. So is also Joey Stiers. All these drivers, Meza, Richards, Bullock, Kynes, Rivera, Parsons, top 10, all right there with each other as they close in, coming out of turn number 4, climbing the banking back into turn number 1 and 2. And again, right now, just watching Kerry Tribute now dock some laps off here at Daytona.
Yeah, Kerry Tribute, one of those strong runners from last season. That 7 machine trying to come into this season, replicate what he did right now as we're side-by-side drag racing, as Larry Mack would like to say, down the backstretch here at Daytona.
Off into the corner, down into turn number 3. There's Hess. Remember Kyle Hess? Remember what we talked about earlier? Well, because of that, Hess back on the lead lap again. He's right now in that number 12 position. And this strategy, if you will, believe it or not, William, you heard Tim Hammond say it. He's in 3rd. Kyle Hess, one of the drivers I spoke to amongst more, that said they were going to hang back, and now they're coming to the front.
Right now, Jacob Blinkhart, though, is one of those dogs. He has to get by at the top side of that grid. You might have those big movers here on the late side of this race, but you also have those guys that are comfortable already at the top side. They know what it takes. They know what the draft feels like. Right now is still, though, the 69 has a good buddy there at the top side. Raul Mezin, that 37, pushing him along.
Working off the corner out of turn number 4, coming back down to the line. Here they come, storming to the triangle. Hammond up on the outside. Tribute to the bottom. Shot there with Clinkhart on the bottom. It's Meza now giving a shot to Hammond. All these drivers getting into position. Brandon Bullock, by the way, now climbing into the top 5. Winner on Friday night.
Kerry Tribute low side, Tim Hammond top side, Jacob Blinkhart on the low side as well. You see the 923 right there, Brendan Bullock in the 17, Jose Luis Rivera in the 20, Robert Richards in the 48. A lot of movers up there, a lot of heavyweights here at Nazareth. Who's going to get the job done? You have rookies, you have vets, you have guys that want wins, that haven't had wins in a long time up there as well. Wesley is around 3 and 4. Kerry Tribute in the 7 takes us out of the corner.
Off of turn number 4, coming down to the line, it is going to be Tribute to the bottom. Meza, Serve Pro, 37 on the outside. He's with Hammond. And we're closing in on 40 laps remaining next time by. It is Kerry Tribute, the leader. What a run the 7 has on the bottom of the racetrack. Clinkhart and everybody is ready to head to the payout window here in this final stage in the NRE Power Systems 250. They're all 2x2x2. No one breaking out of line. Patience is the key as one guy bobs from the outside, inside to the outside lane, back into the corner into 3.
Yeah, right now still side by side. Looks like we have a truck down pit road right now. We're going to check in with Tyler Dittmer there in the 34 machine. That's Ron Hunter in the 30. That's down pit road right now. Tim Hammond starting to separate on the low side lane. A lot of trucks right here, Wesley. This could cause a little damage concern right here. You see that wide gap in between the trucks. That means the draft's starting to get to some of these drivers here as we enter 1 and 2.
Yeah, this is your lead pack working their way again into turn number 2. Down to the bottom of the racetrack, hugging below the yellow line is going to be the machine of Hammond. Tribute is right there. A little shot there to the left rear. Tribute backs off the tailgate, lets him get adjusted. That's Hammond, and get focused one more time. Now Tribute ready to pounce on him again as they dive in the banking side by side to 3.
This race has been fireworks from the get-go. Constant battles for the lead, constant battles for top 5 positions. Right now, we got less than 39 laps to go here in race number 1 of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series Season 2 as Tim Hammond takes us down to corner number 1.
And right now, Meza now making a move on the outside. He'll power his way around Tribute, and Kerry Tribute now has got company from Tim Hammond. Hammond left Meza and Bullock out to dry, went from the outside lane to the bottom lane and slithered his way in front of the Tribute machine. Clinkhart to the bottom, Stiers as well. Meza says, I'll do it on my own. He powers to the outside, door to door to 3.
Yeah, right now, side by side, jumbled up here, Wesley. Everything's airtight here off of 3 and 4. You know, usually, Wesley, folks at home don't like us to get too excited too early, but with the way this race has been from the drop of the green flag, airtight, side by side, 2x2 racing for every position all the way down to about the 20th spot on the racetrack, it's hard not to get excited.
I've always said this, I'm a race fan first, announcer second, and I'll live with that till the day I die. I love what I do, and right now we're watching what these guys are doing to the back straightaway. You got to get excited watching this now, but I think it's the calm before the storm, if you will, William Tiller. That's the best way to describe it, because I think a storm's brewing. We just don't know when it's going to become chaotic again.
No, and for right now, I think Tim Hammond, he avoided that disaster at the end of stage 1. Of course, stage 2, he had a little bit of a wiggle there at the start-finish line. But for the 69 machine, he has to keep that in the back of his mind that he's already avoided disaster once. Make sure to keep that 69 clean. Avoid what you're talking about. We know what's going to happen here at Daytona. Late stages of this race, getting a little crazy there at the end. Going to have another caution flag down the stretch. Right now, though, no change in lead as the 69 leads us out the corner.
All of this going on down the super stretch now. The inside is Hammond. And William, I got to tell you this, as we're starting to see some slicing and dicing. Trucks either going to the outside or going to the inside. Maybe friends becoming foes. Maybe teammates trying to bob and weave to hook up with other teammates to make those advancements to the front. But one thing for certain, you're going to have to move Tim Hammond. He's on the bottom of the double yellow line. He is not going nowhere. We saw him stay to the outside for about one lap or two, and then he goes right back to the inside. And you see him now trying to play blocker on mini trucks as they go into 1 and 2.
What a dirty corner that was in a 1 and 2. Everybody had to just Jenga their way for position right there. Those moving blocks could have spilled everywhere, though. Everybody kept their cool right now as the 69 is clear in the lead right now into 3 and 4. Gotta remember, though, Weston, this is one thing that's creeping into these lap counts. Last time all of these drivers headed down pit road was on lap 52, 65 laps in. That pit window's coming up soon.
Yeah, all of this going on. And by the way, make no bones about it, if we don't get a caution flag like we did, except for the end of the stages, the big wreck at the end of stage 1 in this NRE Power Systems 250 final stage, William Tiller, we will see green flag pit stops. And that will definitely change the scenario, no doubt, as Kerry Tribune tries to hook up with Raul Meza, trying to go 2 for 1 on Tim Hammond. Hammond will have none of it, and somehow he blocks both of their advances down the back straightaway going to 3.
Yeah, and you saw what happened right there. Kerry Tribune got sucked into the middle from the side drop to the 37. That brought the 69 with it. He thought the 7 was trying to advance for position. The 69 went up the racetrack with the 7. That's not where the 69 wanted to be right there, Wesley. Did not want to be in the middle of the racetrack. Right now was able to keep that thing on the low side. The 37, though, keeps getting big runs. Gotta watch for Brennan Bullock to keep that momentum going there to get that 37 in the lead.
All of this going on as they work their way again down into the corner into turn number 1 and 2. About to hit the back straightaway. And by the way, closing in on 30 laps to go. Over 30 laps remaining as Tim Hammond now about to get some company from Dane Hagen. Some lap traffic in the way here in just a few moments, but all the while, all these drivers working their way into turn number 3. You want to see what it's like to be by yourself? Stay right there on that onboard camera. The Chevrolet 39 of Dane Hagen, and look at how you just get swallowed up in the draft. Look at them. Here they come, storming through the tri-oval. Hagen clear a path, and they're all storming by on the bottom there, going into turn 1, William Tiller.
Yeah, it's like one of those NASA rockets taking off from the launch pad right there in collaboration with SpaceX. That was a rocket going by Dan Hagen right there on the top side of the racetrack. Dan, though, is trying to keep in this draft. You're just trying to get some of those lap backs the 39 machine's not having this season kickoff event that he wanted. We'll see the 39 try to rebound next week.
The NRE Power Systems 250 closing in on the final 100 miles of this race again as these drivers at lap 50 halfway through, working now lap number 68 of 100, and we're under the final 100 miles of this race now as a 40 lap run will be 100 miles, 150 miles down, 100 miles remaining in the finish of this race. It's Hammond, the leader, down to the inside. Mez on the outside. He's got Bullock to deal with. He's also got Stiers and Klinkhart and Tribune, and don't count out Joey Stiers now trying to get back up to the front. And what a run again for Raul Meza.
Raul Meza, one of his greatest runs he's had in a long time there. Wesley, a veteran of NASRA here. We see him in the Monday night series, the Friday night series as well. Always a driver that catches that bad luck bug we like to talk about here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network broadcast here. But right now, he's been a consistent top 5 truck all night long, side by side with a 69 across the line.
So, William, remember, if you will, whenever we had the craziness that went on in the season 6 opener at Daytona, remember what happened to Raul Meza? He was leading into the corner about midway through the race, was leading most of the race, got turned into the pack right about now where he's out of the back straightaway, and he was finding the air up there, flying through the air, flipping, crashing violently on the virtual NASRA 9 at Daytona, and his night ended for him right then and there. But as we approach 30 laps to go now, 30 laps remaining, it is all pucker time, and it is all right now seeing if anybody closing in on the final 80 miles. Green flag pits.
Green flag. Ooh, Wesley, watch out.
Wow, oh my, here we go.
No.
Oh, why? What in the world? Come on, guys.
Big calamity, big pileup right there at the entry of pit road. Almost when I was yelling pit stops, I think all the drivers heard that as well. Everybody decided to bottleneck at the entry of pit road. Going to be some damaged trucks down pit road right now. Jacob Klinkert stays out there with Kerry Tribune and Joey Steers in that 923.
Yeah, probably a smart idea for these other guys right now that did not pit. And we got to wonder how much damage. And, yeah, you can get damage on pit road. How much damage do these trucks get as we watch these guys now get on the binders? Some are playing possum. Some are being fake, working onto the pit lane. Here comes Tribune. Here comes Stiers. It is now looking like everyone else in that front pack, and now the other ones are exiting off the back straightaway.
And Wes, I'm going to ask you a question here. You know, you're a veteran in NASCAR. You know a lot of these tracks inside and out. Is that one thing about Daytona, that wide entrance into that narrow pit road? Is that something you could play to your advantage here?
No doubt about it, for sure. And you got to remember, you got to follow the blend line, which means that you got to stay all the way to the bottom of the racetrack until you hit that blue cone. Just like in real NASCAR, you cannot advance onto the speedway. You cannot advance your position. You cannot pull up onto the racetrack until you get to that blue cone on the blend line. And again, entering and exiting off pit road, it is crucial. And I will tell you this, it is a completely different animal when you're coming at 200 miles an hour like they're doing right now on the binders, trying to not be speeding on pit road and trying to veer from a wide angle to maybe about 30 foot.
Yeah, as we're going to have what I like to call that Yahtzee reshuffle of the grid. We're going to watch Tyler Dittmer in that 34 machine down pit road. You see last year's champion Adam Newbert in that 4 down pit road as well. See the 5 machine down pit road. Adam Newton down pit road as well. One of our pole sitters is down pit road in that 82 machine, not having a good run here tonight. But right now, our leader on the racetrack is the 81 of Taylor Peacock.
So the green flag pit stops are going on here, and this, if you want to be honest, this just literally totally jumbled up the entire, and honestly, William, if you remember me talking about this, I told you this would happen. This literally just bunched everybody around the racetrack in different packs. We will see what the fate will be. You needed to be with somebody. You're seeing this group of trucks now coming in. Blanchard's coming in. Ramez is coming in. No correction, that's Ramez on track right there. He's hooked up with Jose Luis Rivera. Blanchard, Hartwick, and Peacock were the 3 that come to the pit lane there. William out of turn 4.
And Wesley, I'll be honest with you here. I probably shouldn't say this up here in the broadcast booth, but I feel like this is one of the most, if not the most exciting part of the entire race is these green flag pit stops. Even watching a real life NASCAR broadcast, I know I can check the grid a couple times during the race, but I know the last 150, 100 laps of that race after those green flag or that last set of pit stops happen, that's when the real race begins. And I feel like right here tonight, this is where the real racing is going to begin with about 30 or so laps to go here. Right now, we have Raul Meza battling out on the backstretch. We'll have everybody with fresh equipment as well. We're going to see some very fast lap times here. Wesley cannot wait for the conclusion of this race.
Well, I follow the same sentiments, no doubt. And we're watching, again, more trucks coming down onto the pit lane right now. Sean Hamilton, Hunter Parsons in that mix. There's Robert Richards right back in this battle. And I'll be honest with you, you see this pack of 7 trucks, 8, correction. You got the conductor being Rivera. The caboose is going to be Brandon Bullock, winner of the NASRA race on Friday night. Make no bones about it. This could be the deciding factor of who's going to win the Daytona NRE Power Systems 250 tonight with 25 laps to go when they come to the line. But here's the deal. If that first pack gets unorganized too soon and they start allowing that second group to run them down, then you're looking about a 15, 20 truck pack, maybe more, if they could all get back there with each other organized to make it a run to the finish.
Yeah, with 26 laps to go right here. We look at the likes of Nathan Maurer, though, in fourth position, the 971. He hasn't pit yet, though, Wesley. That's the same in the likes of the 22 of Brandon Broadfoot right there in fifth. They haven't headed down pit road, though. But if you look at the likes of the other names inside the top five, Wesley, as they come roaring by us here in the NASRA 360 Racing Network, Jose Luis Rivera up 27 positions. Raul Meza up 33 positions. Robbie Richards up 17 spots. So a lot of big movers here at the top side of the grid.
I think without a doubt, and obviously we saw Rivera and Meza and those drivers pit. There's a couple of drivers, again, as you mentioned, that have not come down to the pit lane. They're probably going to do so if they realize that they're going to have to play strategy as well. Raul Meza getting down to the bottom of the apron sideways there for just a moment as he fights his way back to the tri-oval. Under 25 laps to go, and look at the Nate Maurer. Remember Nate Maurer, William Tiller. He won the NASRA Triple M Pulling Truck Race Season 6 opener in Daytona. He's trying to do the same here in Season 2, but Rivera battles back on the bottom.
Yes, sir. One of those final four teams, one of those final four drivers from last season had a shot at the championship in the season finale. Don't know if he can get the job done here tonight. Wesley, he'll be pushing that thing across the line if he does so. Last headed down pit road, lap 52, but one driver I'm keeping an eye out on, Wesley. Mama, here comes that man once again. Adam Newton in the 82 machine. They asked him what color yellow you want the 82. He said just bright yellow. As he crosses that line, our pole sitter is now creeping up through the grid once again.
And remember, that's one of those drivers that also kind of was in that skirmish coming to the line at the end of stage number 1. He has played possum. He has stayed in the back. He might even went on the damage clock to try to get that truck repaired somehow to battle and claw his way back in to this spot. Adam Newton is up there. And by the way, what I said could possibly happen, William Tiller has come to fruition. Nate Maurer is now the leader of about a 16 truck pack, with Jeff Sickles leading them on the back as they work out of 4.
Yeah, as Terrell Owens once said, better get your popcorn ready, because right now with 23 laps to go, this race is picking up. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm doing that gamer lean towards the screen here, up here in the broadcast booth here, Wesley. Oh my goodness, as they almost wrecked there off the corner.
Yeah, what a save they just made. I thought they were going to be up in the fence as well, and somehow, some way, they hold it together. There's Adam Newbert down to the bottom of the racetrack. Newton on the inside, along with Richards. All these drivers snaking. Remember the word snaking. You're going to hear that in the Indianapolis 500-mile race, the greatest spectacle in racing this Sunday morning at Indianapolis for the Indy 500 this Sunday morning, again, 11 a.m., and a 500-mile race there at Indianapolis. So right now, these trucks are snaking. They're doing the same thing, slithering inside, slithering outside, and for two reasons, William Tiller. One is to break the draft of the guy that's in front of them or behind them. The second thing is they're trying to find the best line. What is the best way to get around the racetrack to hold on to their position? And right now, we're coming to 20 to go next time by here in Daytona.
With 20 to go, it is the 20 machine at the top of the grid. That has not been seen in a long time. The 20 machine leading the field around Daytona. That's Jose Luis Rivera taking us down to corner number 3.
Rivera down to the inside. Look at Raul Meza. I got to say this. I don't want to jinx him in any way, shape, or form, William Tiller. But, man, I am so impressed with the drive that Raul Meza has got going for him right now. The California driver doing exactly what he needs to do, patiently, methodically, waiting patiently to pounce on his prey. The native out of Van Nuys, California, originally from Los Angeles, owner of Heaven's Best Service Group and Serve Pro of West Hills. That's how the caution flag sponsor come about. What a way Raul Meza could win here in Daytona. It would be, no doubt, his biggest win of his iRacing career if he can pull it off here tonight as we're 20 to go.
Yeah, with 20 laps to go as we come roaring off of 3 and 4, we invite you to turn the volume up, pop those headphones out, and listen to the sights and sounds of this beautiful Daytona International Super Speedway as Jose Luis Rivera takes us across that start-finish line. Turn it on up here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network.
Leaders now, and we're still waiting for some guys to pit, and we're seeing again some of these names popping up here. Look at Broadfoot, Iron Man. Here comes Iron Man. Here comes Newton.
Oh, yes, sir, and it was hard to do that sights and sounds during this race just because there was nonstop action. There was craziness left and right, lead change after lead change. There was no break to do that. Here now with 17 laps to go, coming up on a lap truck on the low side. Oh, Wesley, things got hairy there off the exit 2.
I believe that might have been Kyle Hess down at the bottom of the racetrack, possibly the 86 machine, and somehow, some way, he fights and works his way back around these guys as all this going on with these leaders working off the corner. Jose Luis Rivera, Nate Maurer, Raul Meza, pick your poison. Broadfoot and company are going to have to pit. The question is, win, or are they going to try to roll the dice and try to save to the finish, if you will, William, as they go back to 1?
You got to think, though, that Nathan Maurer is going to be riding on roller skates here at a certain point. Those Goodyear Eagles have to be worn. He's got about, looking at right now, last time headed down pit road, lap 52. That 971 is sliding there, trying to hold his position. He feels that new equipment behind him here as we're down the backstretch with 16 laps to go. Jose said, go ahead, fight those battles on the top side. I'll hold down the low side as a race leader into 3 and 4.
Down into turn number 4. Here they come, storming back into the tri-oval. It is pucker time. 15 laps to go, ready to settle in to the final 20 miles of this race. Into the turn. Watching them now. Go into turn 1. Nate Maurer. Broadfoot now. Brandon Broadfoot. Wow, with a move to the inside to the outside to throw the block on Rivera. You can't block them both at one time. He's got to decide which one to go after. He threw the block on the 20 to get back to the inside there, William.
Oh, Wesley, they've been doing that all race long here. Nothing different from lap 1 till right now with 15 laps to go. Brandon Broadfoot in that 22. I am Iron Man on the top side right now with a big push from Adam Newton there. Got to get used to saying that name. It was Adam Newbert last season. Now it's Adam Newton here this season, rocking inside the top 5.
And mentioning Adam Newbert, though, my friend, he has right back in the dance as well. Climbed into the top 5. He is on the outside looking in. Newbert now powers his way to 4th. He is back in the battle. The champion says, I'm entered the game out of turn number 2.
As Brandon Broadfoot now leads the way off the corner. Adam Newton on the top side in the 82 with a big push from last year's champion, the Ford machine, now inside the top 3 into 3 and 4.
Working their way down to the line, into the turn. It is new. Well, as it's come to the end of it, is what I meant to say. These drivers have methodically put themselves in a position to climb, and they are doing just that here in the NRE Power Systems 250. It is go time. It is time to play checkmate. It's time to get those chess pieces in order. The payout window is open. The money's on the line. A matter of fact, I got the message earlier this afternoon from Brady LaBeouf that the money payout is available as soon as the checkered falls. Now the question is, who will it be? Who will be the winner of race number 1? They're closing in on 12 to go, and it's Newton back to the lead, the pole truck into turn number 3.
And Wesley down to 3 and 4, just like in the movie ATL. New held it down here. The News are holding it down. We got Adam Newton and Adam Newbert 1-2 here on the top side. I feel like those two are going to be battling for the race lead when that checkered flag flies.
It's the Adam show right now. Newton and Newbert going at it. Adam in versus Adam in. Broadfoot on the outside looking in. He doesn't know whether to go to the bottom of the outside lane. Both trucks now go to the top. Broadfoot to the bottom. He throws the block on Nate Bauer. Those drivers work their way out of turn number 2.
Coming off a 2 right now, still airtight. These are 10 trucks, all with a legit chance at a race victory here. Down the backstretch with 12 laps to go. You see Tim Hammond, he swept the stages. He's at the tail end of this pack, unfortunately. As right now, we have Newton topside. We have Broadfoot low side. A Iron Man trying to lead the way off of 4.
It is Brandon Broadfoot, the Iron Man double deuce, hugging the bottom of the double yellow line. Nate Bauer thought about pulling out of line, went to the inside, Power's back behind him, and now to the outside lane. The battle goes on with Newton. It is Newbert. It is also Justin Lumpkin. He's in this battle as they're closing in on 10 to go. Next time by, they're back into 1.
These drivers like Abracadabra, Cal Naughton, call me the magic man. Now you see me, now I appear. These drivers held back the entire race. Now they're in the mix as, oh my goodness, the top side takes off like a rocket. The low side's being checked up by Brandon Broadfoot in the 22. That opens the way for Adam Newton to take the lead.
It's all about to come apart. I remember that storm brewing. I told you it's a matter of who wants it more, who's going to be patient. They're going to come to the line this time by. It'll be lap number 89 on the board. It's 10 to go when they come to the stripe. This is it. 10 remaining. It is Newton. It is Newbert. It is Lumpkin. It is Maurer. It is Hammond. But now they get back 2 by 2, breaking apart single file from the outside into 1.
Into 1 we go. 82 topside. Jacob Klinkart now back into the mix. There's Tim Hammond once again, was just on the low side of this topside grid right here. Now back in the mix, now back in the podium position. The 69 swept the stages so far with 10 laps to go. Wants to put that 69 into victory lane. Has not got a NASRA victory yet. No better way to do it here to kick off this season. Has to get around. Jacob Klinkart in the 1 as he takes us off 3 and 4.
And by the way, Adam Newton has a win in NASRA, but it was a non-points win, the clash at Nashville 3 weeks ago. Now he's on the outside lane, watching all of this go on. The drivers that were wrecked at the end of stage 1, beaten, battered, banged, bruised, bandaged, somehow torn and tattered, fighting back into the finish in Daytona's NRE Power Systems 250, and they're back in the hunt out of turn 2.
Klinkart knows what's at stake here tonight. A win means that you're locked into those playoff races so you can chill the next 25 weeks of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series and know that if you can just stay consistent, you're in. Jacob Klinkart can do that here tonight off the corner right now. Tim Hammond in the 69 machine right behind him as well. Wesley, a race victory here tonight can change your season trajectory in a huge way. As we have 8 laps to go.
8 laps to go right now. They work their way again back into the corner. Off of the turn, out of turn number 4. All of this transpiring inside, outside. Klinkart, Newton, Hammond, Newbert, Richards, top 5. We got one up in the fence. It's a lap truck. Get out of the way. The race rolls on with the leaders in the backstretch.
Leaders on the backstretch right now. You see Brandon Broadfoot in that 22 starting to slide back just a little bit. That new equipment starting to rise to the top right now into 3 and 4. And folks, these drivers do have a little bit of a moolah on the line. Big money awaits the race winner here tonight based on the entries as well. We're going to pay all the way down to 10th. Top 10 get paid here tonight, Wesley, as we're off for 4.
Off of the corner out of turn number 4. Again, wow, I'm just absolutely blown away. This is what we've all been waiting for. This is what we've patiently, methodically have been looking forward to seeing. It's down to the end. It's down to the wire. Who wants it more? They work off the corner. 7 laps to go. I got a feeling something's brewing. The question is, what? Can they get to the end? Will we see overtime? All these questions are going to be answered soon as they're on the back straightaway. William Tiller.
This is the calm before the storm here at Daytona as this field roars into 3 and 4. You've seen these drivers battle it all night long here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. If you haven't liked, shared, and subscribed this broadcast, we invite you to do so right now because this thing is all but far from over as we rage down to corner number 1.
Well, it's go time, as we mentioned, no doubt about it, and we continue to watch these guys working their way around the racetrack. If you're going to make a run, you better make one. You better make one now, no doubt, as all of this is going on, transpiring, happening. What a great race we've seen. It's not done yet. And again, as they work into the 3 turn, patience is going to go away very soon.
Yeah, with 6 laps to go here, Wesley riding on board with the money man himself, last year's champion, Adam Huber, looking up a bunch of lap trucks coming in the mix here, Wesley. This is going to get very, very frantic here. Tim Hammond's going to get left on the high side lane there. Oh, my goodness, as Adam Newbert with a huge run there on the front stretch.
I thought they were about to wad him up just a moment ago. Somehow, some way, they hold it together. We still stay under the green flag. All of this crazy racing transpiring. Let them go on. Let them race on, boys. The battle for Daytona. It's now Jacob Klinkhart back to the lead with Richards and Newton fighting in tow as they go to the back straightaway and 5 remaining.
What's going to happen? We're wide-eyed and bushy-tailed up here in the booth. We're on the edge of our seats with 5 laps to go. Jacob Klinkhart takes us into 3 and 4. Oh my goodness, Brandon Broadfoot goes to the apron. Big wiggle. Oh my goodness, almost makes contact with Adam Newton there on the top side. We're going to make it 4 to go across the start-finish line.
They come storming down to the line, to the inside. Jacob Klinkhart, the leader. Behind them, it's Newton and Richards. To the back straightaway, again, almost wrecked. Now they go to the front straightaway. They hold it together. They assemble into the bank it into 1 and 2. Below the apron goes Klinkhart. He got a shot from Richards. He got loose. They let him get it back going again. Newbert now to the outside. He'll carry Rivera with him on the back stretch, and the new leader is Adam Newton on the back straightaway.
Oh my goodness, the Adams take us down the corner. Number 3, the money man on the top side. He's waited all race long for this opportunity. In the words of Eminem, this is your one shot, your one opportunity. Don't let it slip, as right now he's letting it slip as Adam Newton will take us across the start-finish line with 3 laps to go.
So all of this going on as they work their way back into the corner again. Adam Newton is the leader, the pole machine, fighting, clawing, surviving from a wreck at the end of stage 1 to get back in the dance. This is where it all counts. 4 laps remaining. It's Klinkhart, Richards, Broadfoot not pitted yet. He still stays in the throttle, battles around Maurer and lap traffic on the outside as they go to the turn 3.
82 with the race lead right now. It's only him and Klinkhart into 3 and 4 with 3 laps to go. It's a 2-truck race to the end. We're coming up on a swap of lap trucks here, Wesley. This is really going to cut off the rest of the field. These 2 trucks can get into the swamp. This will be a 2-truck race to the finish. Make it 2 laps to go.
Yeah, make no bones about it. It is pucker time. You've got lap traffic now up on the outside lane. In the middle is going to be Broadfoot. Another truck stuck to the inside. He goes from the middle lane all the way from the top to the bottom and tries to find and slither his way into there. Meanwhile, lap trucks do set all up on the outside. All of this going on as you're trying to battle for 2 to go at Daytona.
2 to go right now. Tim Hammond's going to try to advance position around the 37 lap.
Bottom of the racetrack, we got a spinning truck. but I think we stay green and are getting loose again. Trouble in turn 3. It's Newton going around. Newton's in the fence. Clinkhart's involved. Caution is out.
Wesley,
man.
what is happening, Mr. Outland? We just had the leaders wreck on 3 and 4 with 2 laps to go.
So here's the deal, William. I saw a truck spun. I saw a truck spun in the bottom of the apron. That was on the super stretch. Then as we were panning away for Adam Flieger's great video shot, we saw another group of trucks spin going into turn number 3, and then he brought us back to the battle for the lead, or at least with the front runners, and that's where Adam Newton, the pole truck, got turned into the left rear from the right front of the one of Jacob Clinkhart, and Clinkhart and Newton in the fence, damaged, but Clinkhart's still going to somehow pull away as the leader.
Wow. I'm at a loss for words here, Wesley. I think maybe the yellow lights were flashing before that. That's why Clinkhart is registered as the leader. Oh, wow. What? I mean, we couldn't ask for more, Wesley. I mean, overtime here to kick off the season. Wow. I mean, the shame has to happen to the leaders. 2 trucks that were very strong here all night long. It looks like it's just going to involve those 2 contenders. I think the rest of the field's going to be okay in that sense. Wow, Wesley, what a finish we're going to have.
You wanted this, you got it, and this is exactly what we're going to see. And everybody's coming down to the pit lane. Clinkhart, Broadfoot, Newton drivers that needed to pit it, they are pitting. They are taking on 4 tires and fuel, and no doubt about it. You ever heard of the term bringing a knife to a gunfight? Or you're going to see what it's like having used up tires for track position, being out with drivers that have new tires. But here's the only difference of the scenario. You've only got 2 laps, William Tiller, as we're going into overtime. 2 laps to power your way to the front. Can it be done? Yes. Can you win? Probable. None than likely. But you got to take this gamble. And we knew Broadfoot, he was literally on fumes coming down the pit road.
I still can't believe this finish we're going to have here, Wesley. For the folks at home here tuning into this first race of the season, it has been exciting from the drop of the green flag. I've mentioned it a few times here, Wesley. Even when we were single file there on the low side, we still had trucks battling for the lead. Even with 2 trucks on the top side, we still had battles for the lead. Here tonight, we have overtime because of a crash for the lead going into 3 and 4 with 2 laps to go. I mean, NASRA just spoils us here with all the action that we get every week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And by the way, this will bring out another Surf Pro. Caution flag, Surf Pro, fire and water cleanup and restoration. Restoring homes affected by fire, water, mold, hurricanes, or more like it never even happened. That's Surf Pro, official caution sponsor of the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. All right, William, where do we go next week after we survive the chaos and mayhem that is Daytona? Where are we going tonight for Memorial Day?
Yeah, for the Memorial Day race, week number 2 here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, we head to the Music City, Nashville Super Speedway.
There you go. And by the way, I believe I saw something about it. I'm sure they're going to broadcast it. I have real broadcast obligations on the weekend, so I know I will not be on the call. But I believe the 87 NASRA Cup cars are running this Saturday at, I think it's the 6 o'clock Eastern start time. A Coca-Cola 600 race, 600 miles, 400 laps this Saturday, I believe is what I saw.
Okay, very interesting there. A little throwback here at NASRA. Do all sorts of cool stuff here at NASRA. We have, of course, this Monday Night Truck Series here. We also have our mainstay, our Friday Night Series as well. This is Triple M Pulling Truck Series. If you want to follow all the information here at NASRA, go check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and make sure to subscribe and hit that notification button to our YouTube page, Wesley, to catch all these broadcasts.
And William, as we do go in the overtime here, I want to let everybody know tomorrow night, and for everything now, we will no longer be doing the NASRA Pulse Popper Late Model Stock Car Series. I'm heartbroken about that. just no support, and I can't believe that it didn't get the support that I thought that it would get. But they are bringing back the NASRA ARCA Series cars, and that's a plan to fire up on Tuesday nights coming very soon. And I know they got some other things in the work. Now, I know that they're planning to possibly do a late model all-star race, but it will not be held on next Tuesday like it was scheduled to be. So, all right,
There we go.
overtime. William, they get what, 3 attempts? This is attempt number 1.
Yes, sir.
Green flag, and back to it again. Winner of Daytona. Who will it be in the NRE Power Systems 250? It is Robert Richards now to the lead. Nate Maurer, Daytona Triple M truck winner at Daytona, powers to the number 2 spot. Adam Newbert, here comes the champion, and he turns Newbert. Oh no, Maurer, Mazza. Oh man, Dittmer, Blanchard,
Tim
Rivera,
Hamilton.
wrecked. Caution out.
No.
Oh.
Wow, and I was just about to mention there, Wesley, Nathan Maurer saw
Man.
an old equipment, didn't head down pit road there. I don't know if that was the cause of getting loose there in the corner. Definitely had a bit of the wiggles here. He had to rewind it just a little bit here in the broadcast booth. I don't know if he just felt the draft a weird way, but you see a wiggle out of the 971 here, and you just see him wiggle just the slightest. And just going to see a little contact there, Wesley.
So I saw Newbert, and it looked like a bump draft gone wrong in the corner, it looks like, honestly. And then whenever he hit the back end of the truck, okay. Then when he hooked the left rear, or excuse me, the right rear, around goes Maurer. Nate Maurer's crashing. Newbert's nowhere to go. He's in the fence. Our poor colleague, Tyler Dittmer, in the broadcast booth, he's wrecked. Chris Blanchard's caught up in it. Barnett's caught up in it. There's Tim Hammond. Oh, man, the guy that dominated the first 2 stages. Raul Meza again. There at the end and snake bit from another crash. Wow. And another Surf Pro caution. It's brought to you by Surf Pro Fire and Water Cleanup and Restoration. Let's go on board with Raul Meza. Adam Flieger, you read my mind perfectly. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Oh, man. Heartbreak. I mean, it's just a product of the beast that is Daytona, William Tiller. Seriously, bottom line, this is what it is. Look at this. It looks like a parking lot down there. Trucks littered all over the racetrack on the infield grass.
Trucks absolutely littered all over the place here, Wesley. They're still checking out the Surf Pro caution here. That is the Surf Pro driver there, the number 37 of Raul Meza. See Cody Knott there in the 26 machine as well. Heavy damage to his truck. You know, right now we're going to see some trucks heading down pit lane. A race leader on the track, though, is the 48 of Robbie Richards up there with Justin Lumpkin in the 18.
You see Robert Richards right now, no doubt about it. Brandon Bullock, Hunter Parsons, Chris Blanchard, Kerry Tribune, Brandon Broadfoot on pit road, Steve Barnett on pit road. Some of these drivers that are on pit road after a caution. And, oh, my goodness, Derek Kilgore, Curtis Rogers, Brady LaBeouf, Adam Newbert on pit road, Adam Newton, Jacob Klinkhart. Hartwick, Lyons, Daniels, Pole Truck, all these drivers on pit road. By the way, I was mentioning Tyler Daniels. He was the fast driver. Adam Newton was the dual winner of last week. But I'm telling you, William, this is, I'm sorry, I sound like I'm tongue-tied here, but this is the process of what you get with this type of racing. This is what we really saw. This is what we thought was going to happen. The big wreck at the end of stage 1, I think that was kind of a fluke. I don't think it should have happened. I don't think they even meant for it to happen. But now you're at this time in the race where literally you're gonna pounce on your best friend to try to get around him to win this race if you can. It's virtual Daytona, and like I said, if you win here in round 1, you lock yourself into the playoffs.
Yeah, and Wesley, I think we're focused on the top side of the grid here. In the second overtime, this gives us an opportunity to look at some drivers that wish they had better runs here tonight. Look at the likes of Noah Willis, a rookie coming into tonight's event, had a dual race win.
Winner of the duel last week. Yes, sir. Out of nowhere, he won it.
Unfortunately, here tonight, he's registered in the 39th position, 47 laps down. So, and also, you just spoke about it, Tyler Daniels, our pole sitter. He's going to have a rough night as well. 34th here, registered about 2 laps down on the racetrack. Of course, we just saw Adam Newton get caught up in that Jacob Klinkart right there. Joey Doucette's not having a strong night as well. It's weird to see the 16, 2 laps down there, just inside the top 30.
And remember, this was overtime number 1. They're going to get 2 more attempts at overtime. And remember, like William Tiller said, it's just like NASCAR does it. If you come to the line, you take the white flag, next flag ends the race, more or less, unless the leaders just totally crash and block the entire racetrack and there's not any truck or car left to come back on the sim to the finish, they won't throw a caution. They'll race to the checkered flag. Now, if they take the green and there is a caution, another Surf Pro caution before they come to the white flag, which, by the way, we do have a new sponsor for the white flag as well. We'll unveil that here in just a moment. But if they do not take that white flag, William Tiller, then and only then do we re-rack them, restack them, and we will go for a third time. If we have a caution on the third go-around before they come to the white flag, it's just like NASCAR. Race is official based on time and scoring in the position when the caution was thrown, and we will determine the winner based on that from NASRA.
Okay, right there, Wesley. I think for these drivers, the only thing that they need to know across the radio is that the white flag is out. If they get that Darren's Nail Gun Repair white flag, this race is official no matter what.
Well, William unveiled it a little sooner than I thought we were going to do. We're going to wait till we unveiled it with the pop of the logo. But yes, thank you to Darren's Nail Gun and Repair. They've sponsored some NASRA races in the past, and now we have them as the one to go, the Darren's Nail Gun and Repair one to go. Will we get that? Right now, we're looking for the virtual American Ethanol green flag and try to somehow get back underway in overtime in this race here in Daytona. Lumpkin now around Richards as they go back off into turn number 1.
Yeah, right now, Robbie Richards in the 48. It's on the low side. Justin Lumpkin on the 18 on the high side. He has the 5 right there. That's Jason Morales. Jeff Sickles in the 78 right there. Well, I have to mention here, Wesley, he was the team owner of the Stick With It Motorsports that won the championship with
That's
Adam
right.
Newbert last season. Right now, he's in contention to win a race right now into 3.
How about it for Sick? I believe Justin Lumpkin is also a swim teammate as well. And then you've got all these guys working their way up the racetrack out of turn number 3, working out of 4. Here comes Richards down to the inside. Lumpkin on the outside. Chevrolet and Toyota battle coming to the line. They'll come to the Darren's Nail Gun Repair. White flag in the air. One more lap to go here in Daytona in overtime 2. Lumpkin leads them. Will he survive next time around into 1?
Justin Lumpkin right now our race leader on the top side. Right there, Jeff Sickles behind him. There goes Robbie Richards on the 48. There goes Lumpkin to the low side. Big block on the low side off at 2.
He had to throw the block on Richards. Here comes now Jason Morellis. He'll power up through the middle. They're making contact. Trucksters are in the fence. That's going to be, I believe, the 81 of Peacock and some other machines. Morellis now battles Richards. We work our way into turn number 3 to the finish. Here goes Hunter Parsons. Actually, that was wrecked over there. Here they come out of turn 4. It's going to be to the outside. Morellis to the inside. Will he throw the block? Lumpkin, Richards. Here they come to the line. Side by side. Richards. It is Richards. It is Richards. Robert Richards is going to win here at Daytona. What a finish. Photo finish at the line.
By the hair on his chinny chin, Robbie Richards gets it done at the start-finish line. What a win to kick off this season. Wow, Wesley, wow.
0.0007. Have you ever? Wow. 7/100ths of a second, if you will, to determine the winner. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. I mean, both up 19 spots from the drop of the green flag. Both finished identical to the start-finish line just by 7/100ths of a second here tonight, folks. Robbie Richards in the 48, Justin Lumpkin with a photo finish here to kick off the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series Season 2. Wow, Wesley, after 2 overtimes, that's what it comes down to. Absolutely spectacular.
Robert Richards, here they come again. I know it's in slow-mo. Maybe Adam Flieger will speed it up again one more time in roll time once we show this in slow-mo for dramatic effect. But look at them coming down into the Geico restart zone to the start-finish line. You'd have thought Lumpkin Lumpkin had it. And then all of a sudden, Lumpkin starts to slip right there. And when he got loose, that opened the door, William Tiller, for Robert Richards to work his way off of the tri-oval, powering to the line. Here they come, slow motion. We'll go into real speed again in just a moment. And look at the interval right there. Stop it. Look at that.
Man. Wow, that doesn't get that. Oh, that makes me smile, Wesley. Just looking at that here in the broadcast booth. Probably looks even better for the folks at home. That's what we do all this for. That's what the drivers do it for.
In real time. Look at this in real time. Look at how fast this happened. This is how close it was for us to determine. Look at this. We couldn't call it if we didn't have timing and scoring. And you could just tell from a different angle that literally Robert Richards got it. If you look at a different angle, you might have thought maybe the 18 of Lumpkin had it. Because, by the way, I will tell you this. Before timing and scoring for NASRA updated, it showed Lumpkin as the leader. But then it updated again and put Robert Richards as the winner. 0.007. Welcome to Season 2 of the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, William Tiller. Unbelievable.
Absolutely fantastic here. A photo finish to wrap up the first race of the season. We're going to step aside for just a short break. We'll catch our breath. We'll be right back for the post-race recap show as we're going to watch the 48 burn it down here as we go into break.
Robert Richards again picking up the win in the NRE Power Systems 250 at Daytona. Richards, Lumpkin, Morales, they're on deck. We'll grab the podium when we return from Daytona, the NASRA 360 Racing Network in the NRE Power Systems 250. I guess.
All right, folks, we're back here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. We just saw the conclusion of race number 1, a photo finish between Justin Lumpkin, the 18, and the 48 of Robbie Richards. But I believe, Wesley, you're catching up with our third-place finisher, Jason Morales, in the 5.
I think we are, and Jason Morales on the podium. He'll finish in the number 3 spot. Jason, first off, somehow surviving the chaos and mayhem that is Daytona. I know it's not a win, but a podium's got to be damn sure proud for you to start the season. I know you got to have some positivity here.
Oh yeah, yes sir. It was, we had our plan to sit in the back, me and the team there, and we waited for a long time, and then once we got down to the bottom of it, after that last green stop, and we got towards the front, we just kind of waited for that last caution to happen.
Did you feel that maybe you might have made a mistake hanging in the back when we saw that big wreck happen at the end of stage 1?
Well, I mean, we stayed in the back for most of the race, but then towards the end, we were, me, Tyler, uh, Parsons, and Barnett. We were all sitting about, 10th to 13th. So we were right on the backside of that lead pack, and we were just counting on something big to happen because we knew the leaders were catching all those lap cars, and that's really what we were banking on.
I'll tell you what, buddy, segue this into thanking your sponsors. It's got to be a positive way to be in the points to start the season for sure.
Oh yeah, especially for the new team starting up here, Highline Racing. But yep, want to thank Brady for putting this thing on. You guys in the booth. I don't get to do a lot of interviews all the time, so it's cool when I get one in. Pulse Poppers, Sim Hub Racer, NASA 360, my personal sponsors, Sunstar Dental and Round the Block Tax Services. Yeah, good way to kick off the year.
Yeah, no doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen. The number 5 of, again, Jason Morellas. He will finish in the number 3 position here when it's all said and done to the NRE Power Systems 250 at Daytona. Justin Lumpkin was the runner-up. What a crazy race it was between him and Richards at the line. 0.007 short of winning the race, actually leading off the tri-oval, and William Tiller has caught up with him now for the podium.
Yeah, I think Justin Wesley just teed it up for us there. Talk about an incredible finish we just witnessed.
Oh man, that was crazy too. Green white checkers there. I had my teammate there, Jeff Sickles, behind me, and I seen coming to the white flag, I believe, or maybe coming out of 2 after the white flag. I noticed he lost some momentum, so I just decided to drop down in front of Robbie. I knew he was going to do it. It was just he was going to do it, and I seen him start to drift up out of 4, and I went up with him, but I thought I didn't want to run him in the wall. I wasn't going to do that, but I went back and looked at it, and I was still clear. I should have just kept going up, but man, I like racing against Robbie and these guys, man. I'm happy for him. Coming to the line, I just didn't have the momentum. He had that upper line off the turn and through the trial, and he edged me out there.
It had to have felt like a typical Daytona race here tonight. No race victory, second place though. You got to feel kind of good the way you kicked off the season.
Oh yeah, anytime you can get you a podium finish, you feel good about it. We didn't get no stage points, but that's just our strategy, at these super speedways. We want to be there at the end for the big money, because there's going to be something happen, just like stage 1, that wreck at the beginning took out quite a few trucks. But man, it's a good points day for us. Good team points, man. We had 2 trucks up here in the top 5.
Yes, sir. Good payday as well for that 18 team with 45 trucks here tonight. I think you're going to take home at least about $50 here tonight for your team. But Justin, with that podium finish, I'd love to give you drivers the opportunity to shout out anybody you had watching here tonight. A lot of viewers here tonight on the broadcast, or any sponsors that made this race possible.
Yes, sir. Of course, DSR Electric, they're a new sponsor to come on for Slim Motorsports this year. We all have it on our truck, along with our other primary sponsors. We want to thank them for coming on. He's been a heck of a support for us. Then Darren's Nail Gun Repair, Millie's Landing, Millie's Restaurant Catering, A's Lawn and Landscaping, Ladanco, the Spachulas, the Family Handyman, and then the league sponsors, Sim Racer Hub, Pulse Poppers, Blanchard's Towing, and you guys here at NASRA 360. Y'all do a great job.
Well, we appreciate
also
it.
got to shout out my dad and my mom for watching, and my girlfriend Kara. Got to shout them out too.
I was about to say, you can't forget about the fam there, Justin.
That's
Those
right,
are
that's
the
right.
most dedicated fans there, but we appreciate you taking the time with us here. That's Justin Lumpkin, the 18, finishes second here tonight.
Well, we're going to go to victory lane now, and when it is all said and done, this driver has picked up the victory. Again, 0.07 seconds when it's all said and done. Probably the biggest win of his iRacing career for the driver of the number 48, Robbie Richards. He started inside row number 11 in the 21st position. Oh, my goodness. Brute Force Motorsports has got to be celebrating right now, Robbie Richards. Big congratulations to you.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it was an eventful night for sure. Especially towards the end. I mean, we just wanted to stay out of trouble. I wanted to get my guys up there with me, and we all finished, good. But Daytona, man, you have these things where your guys may be there for a while, and then something happens, and all hell breaks loose, and then you end up by yourself. So that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, I think, Robbie, me and you were kind of on the same page of this, because I could see all of this going on at the end of the race and double overtime and all that good stuff. But did you feel like things might have calmed down with the big wreck there at the end of stage number 1? And honestly, I think it did, for that matter.
Yeah, for sure. It calmed down, through second stage. We got clean stage through there, clean second stage, all the way up until the end of the race. Everything was clean, man, and it was for 40. I think we had like 43 guys or something like that, and that's saying a lot for it being the first race with a bunch of new people in here. But yeah, I mean, I had Nate with me. I think of that second to last, I believe it was the second to last restart there at the end, and he was with me. And all of a sudden, my shifter decided it wasn't going to shift into second gear, so it allowed everybody to get caught up and kind of put Nate in a predicament, and it caused a stack up, and I believe that's what ultimately caused the wreck there, or at least had something to do with it. And then Clean Cart, he was they were there. They were there all night. All the guys that was on my team, Brute Force and a couple other guys that was from Rev Race, and we were all working together. Everybody was there. But yeah, it was clean race overall for the most part. Typically at the end it gets a little wild. Everybody trying to get their last little bit of momentum going and try to move forward, and sometimes there's just gaps there that's not be able to be filled.
William Tiller, you got a question for our winner, Robbie Richards, here in Victory Lane at the end of the NRE Power Systems 250.
Yeah, Robbie, before we let you go, my man, you kick off this season with a race victory. I know last season you were chasing those victories. It was almost an uphill battle last season. What kind of confidence does this put in the 48 team now for the rest of the season going forward?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we're automatically locked in now. So that's definitely a good full head of steam there, being locked into the playoffs automatically with a win. Focus now is just, yeah, win's always great. I always want to win. But focus now is getting some stage points, some playoff points, getting my guys some wins. Nate, get Nate, Justin, Jacob, and Kerry, get them all, try to get them wins, get us all locked in, and then just keep the momentum going, man. We got a few tracks coming up that are definitely going to be a challenge. There's some tracks that I'm pretty good at, some of them not so much. So especially with the road courses, I ain't never any good there. So we can not have to worry about too much of trying to finish the best we possibly can, because we've already got locked in. So focus now is just getting stage points and getting the other guys from Brute Force to win.
Yeah, Brute Force Motorsports has at least one of their drivers in, and that's the man of the number 48 of Robbie Richards. Again, by the way, Nashville next week, Kansas, Charlotte in the Roval, all coming up in the month of June for the Richmond Raceway. A lot of tracks that are no different from one another, for sure. Definitely, it's going to be unique to open up this second series of the Sim Racer Hub NASCAR Truck Series. Robbie, thank your sponsors, man. Congratulations to you. We'll see you next week at Nashville.
Oh yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank you guys here at the broadcast. I want to thank Ports Poppers, Blanchard's Towing, Solar Fit, all my guys at Brute Force. Done an incredible job. Even though they were out, they stuck there and helped me through it. I want to give a huge congratulations to Justin Lumpkin. He could have forced me into the wall or whatever to get the win, but it goes to show, I mean, how clean he is and how much of a good guy he is. So, always enjoy racing around him. And so yeah, we're gonna go forward and see carry on the momentum, see how far it takes us.
Robbie Richards, winner of the Sim Racer Hub NASCAR Open Lid Lifter for Season 2 in the NRE Power Systems 250 in double overtime tonight at Daytona. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have another iRacing broadcast coming up here at the top of the hour, which is right now. But William Tiller, I will let you give your final thoughts, man. Crazy race, no doubt, tonight here at Daytona, and it's on to Nashville. And then, as I mentioned, Kansas, Charlotte, Roval, Richmond, Michigan for the month of June, all tracks that are so differently unique in all of the great racing that they provide.
Absolutely, Wesley. As I see, you got your helicopter warmed up in the infield, is waiting for you to go hop on there. But we'll throw those official results on the screen with 45 trucks here. We'll let you folks at home read off your favorite drivers. You look at Robbie Richards winning the race here tonight. Just Lumpkin, just talked to him. Jason Morales as well. Jeffrey Johnson Jr., a rookie inside the top 10. There's our top 18 on the screen here tonight. And Wesley, to answer your question, I couldn't ask for more here in week number 1 of the season. We had multiple lead changes, no kind of craziness on the racetrack though, not a ton of cautions, very clean racing throughout. Even that last bit, the 2 overtimes we had, they were very clean. It was what we expected here at Daytona, just gave way to a very, very exciting race here tonight. Cannot wait for week number 2.
And you see the names of like Brady LaBeouf and Brian Chu and Rogers and Maurer, drivers, Klinkhart and others that were up in the front that were doing well. And then down at the end, chaos and mayhem to determine it was all said and done. Robert Richards, again, the winner, 0.008. Looks like they've updated again. It was 0.007. But anyhow, hell of a finish. Great race. We hope you enjoyed the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. It's on to Nashville. Nashville next week. Next Monday night, no doubt about it. For everybody at NASRA, the North American Sim Racing Association, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at NASRA-racing.com. For Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, all of the folks that are behind the scenes. For producer, director Adam Flieger, I hope you're getting feeling well, buddy. For all of our sponsors, for everybody that makes it happen. For William Tiller, this is Wesley Outland congratulating winner of race number 1 to open up the second season for the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, Brute Force Racing number 48, Robert Richards. And good night from Daytona. We'll see you next week at Nashville.